Might I ask what you're doing with those?
Oh, do you like them? I grow 'em myself. I could bring you some if you like.
I meant, what are they for, Mr. Humphrey?
They're for Mrs. Birdsworth. Yeah, I know. I'm probably not supposed to, but I did her a terrible hurt yesterday. Broke her heart telling her she couldn't go to the States to see her family. Yeah, I'm a stupid old coot, doesn't know when to keep his trap shut. Yeah, I know I can never make up for what I did, but it was the only thing I could think of.
I'll make sure she gets them.
You're a very kind lady.
Oh. Birdsworth, what are you doing?
Just trying to fix the TV, Miss Bennett.
You should know better than to play around with things like that. You could get yourself electrocuted. It's against regulations, but you might as well get them to yourself.
Excuse me, Mrs. Birdsworth. I thought you might like these. You know, my wife died many years ago. My son and daughter are grown up. I'm even a grandfather. But they have their own lives to lead, and I can't expect them to see me often because they live a long way off, too. I haven't seen them for 8 years, but they write when they've got the time. Well, what I'm trying to say, it's not easy not knowing when you're going to see somebody you love again. It's kind of like the first time your kids left home. The hardest thing in the world is knowing when to let go. But I reckon I'm not telling you anything new, Mrs. Birdsworth. Or may I call you Elizabeth?
You know, it's the first time in 35 years that a gentleman has given me flowers, Mr. Humphrey.
Sid, please.
Well, that didn't take long.
No, all the girls know him. He's been doing the rounds. Last few weeks, he's been a regular at Doris's. Goes there maybe twice a week.
You've done real well.
Okay, so now you know where he hangs out. What are you going to do about it? Just hang out in the streets until you find him? You show your face out there for 2 minutes.
Look, don't worry, I've got it all worked out.
Listen, honey, I know how you feel about Jock Stewart. He's a pig. But what's it going to get you?
Another couple of years, that's all.
You're talking about murder, Judy.
I'm talking about settling an old debt.
Oh, this isn't going to work. I can't make a silk G-string out of a flannel jockstrap in a few hours.
Flannel jockstrap, I like that. I got to remember that one, eh? Oh, come on, don't be so pessimistic. Just dress me up so no one will recognize me and leave the rest to me.
You don't know what you're letting yourself in for, Judy.
Well, you said yourself I can't go wandering around the streets, didn't you? Now, if this is the only way that I can get Stewart, I'm going to do it. Anyway, I might be lucky. He could be my first client, eh?
You haven't even got the job yet, and I don't know... Will you look at the way you're standing? Could you stand like a lady and not like a bloody wharfie? Walk around. Go on, walk. Oh, that's bloody fantastic. The only thing you'll attract will be a Butch Sheila that comes along.
Good, yeah.
We're dealing with men, Judy. Men. M-E-N.
Look, will you get off my back and just tell me what to do, for crying out loud?
Watch me. All you can do is make jokes. Look, assuming you get the job, and I doubt that, Stewart could have changed places. Do you think you can hack it until you find him? It's one thing talking about it, Judy, and another thing doing it.
Yeah, I know.
Do you? And if you find Stewart, do you think you've got it in you?
Look, I always joke when I feel cornered, huh? Now, let's just try this again. See how I'm going, will you?
It's better. But I hope you're a fast learner, Judy, in more ways than one.
Poor old fella. He must get lonely spending so much time by himself.
I don't hear him complaining.
Well, at least he's got his health.
He still doesn't seem like the type who'd give in when things don't go his way. Unlike you, Birdsworth.
Oh, Miss Bennett, I'm sorry for yelling at you like I did yesterday. You saved me life. Not that it's worth saving, but at least you meant well.
You've got no one to blame but yourself for being in here. And as you keep reminding us, you're 72 years of age. One would think by now you would have learnt to face up to your responsibilities. And telling your family the truth might be a start.
You said to me once that if people didn't accept you the way you are, they're not worth 2 bob. Well, I reckon Ellen and Josie are worth more than that. And whichever way you look at it, I'm going to be a burden to them and to everybody else.
People can be a burden at any age. They don't need to be old. They can talk themselves into being an invalid because they're too afraid to stand on their own 2 feet. They like to cling, to live off your sympathy so you don't have a life of your own anymore. So full of self-pity that they make everyone feel guilty about even being happy.
You're talking about your mum, aren't you, Miss Bennett?
And you, if you're not careful. You see, she didn't know when to let go either. Oh, by the way, just because we've had this little chat, don't think for 1 minute that you can take advantage of me. I'm not going to put up with your poor old woman routine. You'll be treated like the rest of the women.
Miss Bennett, when have I ever tried to con you?
Morning.
Morning.
David Andrews. I'm with the Education Department.
Oh, yes, the teacher. Jim Fletcher, Deputy Governor.
Pleased to meet you. I didn't know there'd be any men working here.
Didn't the department fill you in?
Oh, too rushed. I wasn't expecting to start till next month.
Yes, have you got any way of locking this thing up?
I've got a wheel lock.
Then you better use it. How long have you been teaching in prisons?
As of tomorrow, it'll be exactly 1 day.
Mrs. Davidson will explain the details to you, but basically you'll be subject to the same rules and regulation as the rest of the staff. David Andrews from the Education Department. This is Miss Vera Bennett, one of our senior staff.
How do you do, Mr. Andrews?
Oh, David or Dave will do.
We never call each other by our first names, Mr. Andrews, not while we're on duty.
Oh, I'm here to learn as well as to teach.
Then might I suggest that you keep up your appearance as much as possible? Casual clothes will only make the women think that we're just as casual in our jobs.
Well, I didn't think clothes necessarily made the teacher, but I'll try to remember.
If you just sign in over here. Let's put there what time you arrive and do the same when you leave. And I'll take you around to see Mrs. Davidson.
Could I drop these into the classroom first?
Well, we don't actually have a classroom as such. You'll be doing your teaching in the library, but if you leave them here, I'll make sure they're transferred over.
I see, I was expecting. Well, not to worry. There's no better place than a library for learning.
The department doesn't waste time and money building facilities for programs that usually fail, Mr. Andrews. And going on past experience, I'd say you'll be back teaching in surroundings that suit you most before you know it.
The Education Department thinks very highly of you. However, I must admit you are much younger than I expected. What made you apply for such a position?
Well, I've been teaching in a lot of working-class areas, tough schools. Most of the kids have got sisters, mothers, someone they know who's been in prison at one time or another. Most of their problems stem from home. So I thought that if I could help to cure the cause rather than the complaint...
Educate the mothers first.
It's worth a try.
You mustn't be disappointed if the attendance is not what you expect. We can't force the women to go to you, even though most of them have a very low scholastic achievement. They don't like admitting this in front of the other women.
Once I tell them the advantages, I'm sure I'll get their confidence.
You realize you will be regarded as one of the staff and answerable to the regulations. However, you will not have the authority to hand out punishments. So if you have any problems, refer them to me or with a senior member of staff.
Yes, Mrs. Davidson?
Now, if you need any background information about the women, we'll give it to you. But don't make a habit of discussing sentences. And certainly don't discuss the inmates or the staff in front of the other prisoners.
Oh, that sounds reasonable.
Now, if you need to bring anything into the prison, anything at all for the women's use, pens, biros, we'll have to check it first. Now, never give out your cigarettes, food, anything at all to the women. And certainly don't pass out any messages without authority.
You won't be able to absorb everything in one day, Mr. Andrews, so if you have any doubts, just check.
I feel like I'm the one who's going back to school.